Hey everyone, I'm back with another update. In this episode, I'll cover narco-terrorist related news, updates on the shooting of National Guardsmen, and immigration related news. Of course, I'll end with the noteworthy tidbits. President Trump endorsed anti-Maduro Honduras presidential candidate and National Party member Tito Asfura for the November 30th elections, and he announced a full and unconditional pardon for former Honduras President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was sentenced to 45 years in prison in 2024. Trump sent a warning to airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers that the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela is closed, but the Venezuelan government demanded respect for its airspace, saying it won't accept Trump's order. After Trump's statement, Maduro and his team reached out to the White House, begging for communication, according to CNN. War Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed that the narco-terrorist strikes in the Caribbean are lawful under both U.S. and international law, explaining that all actions are in compliance with the law of armed conflict and approved by the best military and civilian lawyers up and down the chain of command. On to updates on the shooting of the National Guardsmen. On the 28th, vigils and a beautiful procession were held for fallen Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom in her hometown in West Virginia, and Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf is still fighting for his life, but is showing some improvement. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro confirmed a first-degree murder charge is coming against the Afghan shooter, meaning execution if he's proven guilty, and it's been discovered that the shooter was part of an Afghan unit known for brutality. The unit was called a death squad and operated entirely outside the chain of both U.S. command and Afghan forces. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen revealed that many resettled Afghans have family members still in Afghanistan who are being used as leverage by the Taliban, which is an ongoing national security risk. Mullen also accused the Biden administration of focusing on numbers during the chaotic evacuation rather than thorough security checks or prioritizing true United States allies, noting that while thousands of Afghan refugees were airlifted out, American assets and genuine partners who worked directly with U.S. forces were left behind. On a positive note, women are reporting that with the increased presence of the National Guard, they're feeling much safer taking the D.C. metro. Let's switch to immigration-related news. Muslims in Michigan vowed to continue shouting "Death to America" until they turned the White House into a Shiite Islamic center, and Jake Lang announced Americans will march against the Islamification of America in Minneapolis on January 17th. New York police arrested multiple Muslims and pro-Palestine rioters at an Apple store in New York City, and Muslims stormed the opening night of the Christmas market in Brussels, waving Palestinian flags, setting off smoke bombs, and terrifying families. An Afghan national was arrested after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a car bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area, and according to the Department of Homeland Security, he has been charged with making a terroristic threat at the state level. He was admitted into the United States as a lawful permanent resident as part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome, but what's strange is that he was listed as white. In response to the shooting of the National Guardsmen and unrest with the Afghan community, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services halted all asylum decisions until, in the director's words, we can ensure that every alien is vetted and screened to the maximum degree possible. The State Department told diplomats to destroy visas that would have been given to Afghans and to conduct scheduled interviews, but not to give out visas regardless of the interview's outcome. Secretary of State Marco Rubio explained, "We have the right to deny visas before entry and revoke them after entry if someone's presence undermines our national security or interests. And there's a misconception that you're automatically allowed a visa unless we can find a reason to deny it. That's not true. The burden of proof is the other way around." So far, over 2 million asylum claims have been halted by the Trump administration. After the Somalian fraud schemes were exposed in Minnesota, Somalians and other Muslim migrants fear imminent immigration raids and deportations, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz refused to release the records on Medicaid providers engaged in these massive fraud schemes. Some would say this indicates Walz is hiding something, possibly more fraud. A group of more than 480 Minnesota Department of Human Services employees have asked President Trump to send in federal investigators to halt the fraud, claiming administrators are actively deleting incriminating evidence, destroying data and documents. The Department of Homeland Security reportedly arrested nearly 60 illegal aliens in Houston, Texas in one operation, And it's been revealed that even though California is running an $18 billion budget deficit, it spent $13 billion on illegal alien health care. President Trump posted Section 212F of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which reads, whenever the president finds that the entry of any aliens or of any class of aliens into the United States would be detrimental to the interests of the United States, he may by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate. Just days after the two National Guardsmen were shot in D.C., protesters were harassing the National Guard in New Orleans, waving pro Palestine flags, and in Manhattan, anti ICE rioters trapped ICE agents in a parking garage for over an hour. Rioters in New York City blocked and attacked an ICE convoy, storming barricades, throwing garbage cans into police, and forming a trash blockade. Luckily, there were no severe injuries. Now it's time for the noteworthy tidbits, which are brought to you today by Zevo Life. Let me tell you about them quick. Looking for a game-changing way to improve your health? Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant, packed with over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and antioxidants. Harnessing the best nature has to offer, Zevo Life nourishes your body while driving your performance, vitality, and overall well-being. Each serving is a concentrated source of clean, well-balanced nutrition designed to support modern lifestyles, and just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. It's no wonder that it's receiving rave 5-star reviews. Step into a healthier future with a 30% discount and a 30-day risk-free guarantee by visiting zivo.life and using my promo code. To support my show and to receive 30% off your entire order, enter in my promo code JADE, that's JADE, at checkout. All right, let's get back to the tidbits. President Trump announced that any document signed using Joe Biden's auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. Trump also said he is canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally, and I'd like to point out that this includes pardons. A new report was released showing the homicide rate plummeted by 25% to the lowest rate in modern history. FBI Director Kash Patel said that action is coming within a few days regarding James Comey's indictment, and he revealed that the Trump-Russia hoax burn bags he found in a secret room will be shown to the public one way or another, be it through investigation, public trial, or disclosure to the Congress. Trump's tariff revenues hit a new record of $34.2 billion in October. Congressman Tim Burchett demanded support from members of Congress to end cashless bail nationwide. The White House launched a webpage exposing the fake news by creating a leaderboard which keeps record of the media's false and misleading stories. Ukrainian President Zelensky's chief of staff resigned after anti-corruption units raided his house. Congressman Troy Nehls announced his retirement. People are calling for an investigation into Joe Biden after he claimed to be engaging in foreign diplomacy for the Ukraine war, which would be a Logan Act violation. I'm pretty sure it's just dementia. That's all I have for today. I'll be back with another update soon. Until then, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and follow me on Instagram and X at Shades of Jade Pod. Thank you for listening and have a great day.